Greetings, family. I greet you in the universal blessing of peace. We're doing something different today. And in this meditation and contemplative moment, I hope you find yourself in the highest vibration possible. Enjoy. Whom God, Source, Divine Mind has blessed, let no one curse. If you don't understand, don't judge, observe. Resilience, separate legends from the participants. I hope what I share and all that I have shared be received in the greatest and most beautiful way possible. If you can picture it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. What you seek is seeking you. Use what you have to get where you are going. You take yourself with you, no matter where you are. To be remainable, you gotta be changeable, change able. It never starts out how it ends. Learn to stay positive in your bubble. To my creators, be patient, believe in your ideas, cultivate your visions, and allow them time to harvest for you. Time doesn't bind us. It gives us time to get timeless. My life has shown me personally, when you're the it factor, there's no need to bandwagon and bounce wherever you think you see it. Know thyself. We ain't come this far only to come this far. Pay homage and give gratitude to the light bringers. Feel good for no reason at all. And once you feel your way there, you'll feel your way there. In all you do, enjoy every moment. Stillness and blessings, love and light, health and wholeness. Stillness and blessings, glad to be back in the flesh with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the contemplative meditation. Now we are rising to some 432 frequency. Positive healing and transformation. I hope y'all feeling good for no reason at all. Because you got to feel your way there to feel your way there. Literally. It takes you. Hope everybody in their highest vibration possible. Give y'all a little Sabio Blanco, otherwise known as Sage. We're going to get right off into the 80K Lauder, book 2 tonight. But before we proceed, I thank y'all. I thank y'all and I thank y'all. And with that being said, I did something different tonight. Trying to be creative with what I got to work with. But let me know how y'all like that. We are in 80K loop, Law of Life Book 2. We're still on Ascended Masters. I think this is part 5, Ascended Masters, Cosmic and Divine Beings. Where did we stop? Where did we stop at? Now we have the opportunity and privilege to use not only what we can qualify, but what we may call forth, and use that which is already so qualified by great beings, and thereby have a power and momentum of centuries of accumulation. All this is a gift from the divine beings. This we can have by the acceptance of ascended masters, ancestors, orishas, the divine beings, etc., etc. Make your call. For example, in the use of the transmuting violet flame, when you are going to use only that which you qualify, you may not have much results. But if you draw forth that violet flame which is already prepared to act, to cleanse and purify, it is in effect like a cleaning fluid one can buy in the store. If you would have to work out the formula for the cleaning fluid, how much results would the average person get? Likewise, if you are going to have to work out the correct blending of primo life of some activities of purity, mercy, and love in proper proportions to create an action of transmutation via the violet flame as a spiritual cleanser, you might not get much accomplished. The vibratory action of not only Earth, but the other planets and systems of this universe or scheme is being stepped up, raised up, becoming more rapid in order to take the step forward. The four lower bodies of mankind, likewise, must increase the frequency of your vibrations. That is, our electrons, of which they are composed, must become more rapid in vibratory action. Under cosmic law, it is not a matter of free will as before, but it must be done. Previously, individuals on various planets could, through free will, refuse to accelerate their own inner bodies, and that way they became laggards when their planets went forward. But from what was said, this is not the case this time. We got to do this work. The conditions have been all through the ages that an individual seeking the light might spend a whole lifetime just pilgrimaging to one focus of light or a master somewhere on earth. They might get there and they might not. You might get there and you might not. I might get there and I might not, but I'm giving all I got moving forward. Now, the cosmic command is that all must come into the light and understanding of the law. Therefore, under the cosmic law, the masters are coming to us instead to give us this assistance and instruction through the dictations and addresses. The new age is to be the era of freedom. Freedom. What does freedom mean to mankind? It is a getting away from, or an absence of the limiting and discordant conditions, which are manifestations of the negative aspect of the law. Real freedom comes in the positive aspect of the law, which is the conscious use of the fire element, the sacred fire. The Ascended Master Saint Germain represents freedom to the earth. He has become the directive intelligence for the next 2,000 year cycle, the new age. And in order to have the full action, the cosmic action of the violet flame, he must be accepted. Just as 2,000 years ago, in order to have the grace over the Mosaic law years ago, Yeshua had to be accepted. Therefore, the Ascended Master Saint Germain is presented first here, then Yeshua, who was the director of the previous 2,000 year cycle and is now going to enter greater service. Then will follow the other Chohans in order of the rays, which will be followed by the various other beings. Saint Germain. Saint Germain's cosmic name is freedom. He is the cosmic father of the people of America. Saint Germain's work for the freedom of mankind began in that civilization 70,000 years ago, when the whole civilization could have been raised into the ascension had they continued to give obedience, instead of becoming rebellious, particularly in their feeling world. He with the beloved Lady Master Nada have brought many civilizations to their height. His work has been much more concerned with the human and physical realm than that of the other masters. He worked for 200 years here in America before definite results began to manifest. This was brought about through the activity of the I Am instruction, which important work has been the protection, purification, and enlightenment of the people, especially in America. and the purification of the beings of the elements. Saint Germain took the responsibility for the students whether they gave obedience or not. A selfless act. When an ascended master does that, and the necessary obedience is not given, then he has to make up for that and give a balance to the great law through application and cosmic service at inner levels. It's a powerful, selfless act. Saint Germain was king of that great civilization 70,000 years ago, where we find the Sahara Desert today. He possessed all the powers of a master and could have made the ascension as far as qualification goes. Some have wanted to know why he did not make the ascension then when he had attained to such great heights. There is a very definite reason. He did not, so that he could embody again and again in order to hold a closer contact with the mankind of Earth. In this way, he could accomplish things required for mankind's freedom in the future, since having a physical body gave him a connection and authority which he would not have in the ascended state. He retained continuity. He retained continuity of consciousness from one embodiment to the next since that civilization 70,000 years ago. The term Uncle Sam really refers to Saint Germain, who instigated the establishment of our government. It was said that that term comes from a former embodiment when he was Prophet Samuel, about 11th century BC. Saint Germain was Joseph, and with Mary prepared the way for Yahshua. He was an Essene, and knowing the mission of Yahshua, did some preparatory work among the disciples, unbeknown to them, before they met Yahshua. Saint Germain, as Joseph, was a very good example of the father Yahshua was to externalize through physical form, and he was the ideal to Yahshua in his childhood until he made the contact with Lord Maitreya. At the time of his passing, which was an easy one, he determined to give assistance to all to make their passing easy for the animals as well as human beings. Saint Germain was Saint Alban, born in the 3rd century in England, presumably at the place of the present Saint Alban. He was martyred about 303 during the persecution and later canonized by the church. He was the Greek philosopher Proclus, 411 through 485. This name became famous in afterlife. He composed hymns, embraced all religions, and endeavored to unite all philosophies. He had a school in Athens, but he also traveled, studied, and taught the various religions. He was Merlin, the magician of King Arthur's court in England, 5th and 6th centuries. Another embodiment of his was as Roger Bacon, 1211 or 14 through 1294, born at Ilchester, an English monk and philosopher, claimed by some to have been the greatest intellect which has arisen in England. He was a student of nature, who was more physician than chemist, a scientist, and made many discoveries along this line. In this lifetime, as well as in many other embodiments, as he saw the need for the use of these things to benefit mankind. He studied at Oxford and then at Paris. There he received the degree of Doctor of Theology, then returned to Oxford. He became known as Father of Science. He was known as the first naturalist by the Franciscan order to which he belonged. He invented the spectacles, achromatic lenses, and constructed the telescope. He did much experimental work and produced gunpowder, which has been so greatly misused. He was one of the few astronomers of the time. He was responsible for the rectification of the Julian calendar. He was known as a magician and intensely interested in alchemy, transmutation, and in producing an elixir to prolong life. He wrote Opus Majus, which was an encyclopedia of all sciences and for which he was persecuted. That will conclude the study for the day. I thank you for your likes, for your shares, for your questions, for your comments, for your donations. My Cash App is $, SAIWOODAGOD. That's $ Sawulu God. I hope you have a wonderful energetic, peaceful, remaining evening. Stillness and blessings, love and light, health and wholeness. One.